Hi everyone, welcome back to TLC. My name is Caitlin and I am going to take you through a Reformer Fit class. So today we're working relatively light. I like to jump quite light to take the load off the shins and the ankles, and I'll explain a little bit more about that as we're moving, but I'm on a medium and a light spring. So a blue-yellow if you're used to the Allegro 2s, but otherwise medium, light, or even one heavy spring you could absolutely work with. So come on into the well. I want to get those bodies nice and warm to begin. So let's take a deep breath in, reach the arms up to the sky, and then exhale, fold forward over your thighs. Just holding onto the railings or letting your hands fall down toward your feet. Starting to move through the legs a little bit, releasing through the lower back. Maybe you sway side to side. Just giving lots of easy options here, whatever people want to do really. And maybe taking some rotation, opening the right arm, bending the left knee, floating that arm down, opening the left arm, bending the right knee. Inhale, open. Exhale down, inhale, open. Exhale down, one more each side. So it's really nice to get some rotational work straight away into your warm-up, into your spine. Then we'll roll ourselves all the way up, restack the spine, maybe a shoulder roll here, and then reaching the arms back up to the sky. This time as you come down, taking the hands onto the shoulder blocks, we'll step the feet back onto that platform at the back of the bed, and just start to walk through the back of the legs. So you want to feel this lengthening through the back of the legs, sinking one heel, bending the opposite knee. Feeling that stretch down the back line of the body. Sink both heels. Take a breath in as you lift the heels and then ripple forward into your full plank. So you're moving through the spine here. We can bend the knees to sit the hips back up to the sky, and then lift the heels, ripple forward to your full plank. Shoulders stack over the top of the wrists. Bend the knees, sit the bum back up. 2 more times. And 1 more time. So we've moved through the spine now, feeling that warmth all the way from the tailbone or the back of the legs even, toward the chest, the shoulders, the crown of the head. We come forward into a plank, and then let's start to work into the abs a little bit more, taking some mountain climber knees. So just warming up into the core, and mountain climbers are great to build more heat in the body, and because this is a fit class, and we'll get straight into some jump work, we just want to make sure that the body's really warm. You can do another 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll sit the hips up to the sky, and then we'll take the feet straight down onto the floor. Find a deep bend through the knees, and let's start to warm up through the upper body now. So you can pull the carriage in and extend. Now this is a little bit heavier, and I've actually messed up because I wanted to start you on just one medium spring. So just continue here for a little bit. So we're getting nice and warm now because we're on that double spring. But I don't want to stop and start because we're all human. And if this was to happen in your class and you started on the double spring, because that's where I planned on going today, and you went, oh, I actually want to do some jump work, the double spring feels a little bit heavy, I would say, everyone, I actually started on the wrong spring. Just lean forward, drop that light spring off, come straight back. How easy is that? Right? I know that as teachers, sometimes it's quite stressful when you make a mistake at the beginning and you think, oh my gosh, they're going to think that I don't know what I'm talking about, right? We're all human, yeah? I do it all the time. You just continue. Just continue on, yeah? Because otherwise, if you continue to do something on that heavy spring that wasn't intended, it can be damaging. So you might as well just fix it up and then continue as you liked. So now that we're on a lighter spring, we can start to extend through the legs, lift the hands off those blocks, and you want to start to jump the bed. So we're building more heat again through the body. Now, if someone's got more range, they could step further back and then they can pull that carriage in closer. And make sure that you always give the option for something like this. Make sure that you give the option just to continue. You might add the legs into it, but don't jump. Yeah, so you want to always give lots of different options and levels. Remember that first option was this, just the arms. The second option could be extending the legs, extending the arms. And then the third option is to jump it. Yeah, so we're here for another 4, 3, 2, 1, park the carriage. Now stay low in your squat. Let's get into those glutes a little bit more. We pulse. Sitting the weight back toward the posts at the back of the bed or the end of the bed, what that looks like for you. Wrapping the rib cage, dropping a little deeper into your squat. 4, 3, 2, stand all the way up and then drop down to squat. Exhale, stand, inhale, squat. So a warm-up doesn't just have to be 1 minute at the beginning of class. It can be a full sequence progression like this. It's a full body warm-up. We've worked planks, we've stretched at the beginning, we've warmed into the upper body, the core, even more into the lower body now. 4 more. 3, 2, 1, come on down. Second set, you might come straight into the jump now. Now, second set, maybe you want to do something a little bit different. If you feel so inclined, you could do a single arm catch, right? And you want to catch the opposite shoulder block. Well, actually, you don't have to, but the reason I say opposite, which I really like, is because you might add a rotation layer. Yeah, so we warmed up with a little bit of rotation. 4, 3, 2, 1. Park the carriage, fold forward. Just take a breath, kind of let it all hang down for a moment. And then slowly roll up through your spine. So a really nice, quite a long warm-up, yeah, but full body warm-up. Then we'll step off to the right side. Now I've got a ball there ready because I want to do some side lying. So if I'm using a ball for side lying, I might as well use it for the class. The right foot is behind the base of the bar. The left foot is against the block. Drop down your knee. This is where we need to add that extra spring back on. Yeah, so you're now on a medium and a light. The 1 red could work as well, the 1 heavy. Bum back, chest forward. You might press your hand into the board to start. Otherwise, we've got the ball there. We start to squeeze the ball. Just a little bit of gentle activation through the back, elbows wide, staying nice and low through that front leg. Hip bones pointing forward. If you were to look down, your knee is on top of your ankle. And we're starting to really power through or fire into the right glute as we stabilize. Remember, the main glute stabilizer is the glute med, laterally, yeah, the main lateral stabilizer. And then your back leg, your quad is working, and your glute max is working. A little bit of hamstring as well. Now, because we've had rotation in class today, why not add it on? Rotate to the right, over your right thigh. And we could do another 6 reps here. That makes about 20 scooters. Yeah, that's a really nice way just to warm up through those glutes. 2. Let's take a few different options with our pulse. Press the carriage away, hold here. Drop down through the front leg. Now, if you need the support, your hand just goes to the bar. You're lifting and lowering. You're tilting forward, chest over the thigh. Your core is engaged. Last 3. So we'll do 3 sets of 8 pulses. 2. Hold the lunge. Now the back leg, if your ball is still at your chest, keep it there. Presses out and in, just tiny little pulse. Maybe squeezing the ball. We're down 4, we've got 4 to go. 3, 2, and then final set of pulses. Pull the carriage all the way in, drop the bum back toward your right heel, and then pulse down in your squat. I've already done 4, 4 to go. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Good, so that right glute is well and truly on fire. What do we want to do? We want to keep it fired up. So, come on down to your left side. So you just bend, scoot straight onto the carriage. The ball will come underneath your left ear, or you might have a lifted headrest, or you might take your arm under your head, but this is a really nice way to stay neutral. Stacking of the pelvis, little bit of space behind you, right foot to the board. We start to jump away, out and in. So first set of jumps here, I'll take in parallel, because that's the way we worked our squat. And the first set, I usually do a few more reps, so I might do like 12 to 16 reps, because in this set could add a little pulse lift. Yeah, so we'll do another 6. And feeling that lifting through your underneath waist, that lengthening down your top waist and hip. 3, 2. Now the second set, I'll take a knee tuck, so pulling it in nice and dynamic, and we'll just do 8 here. Because this right glute, it's burning, it's definitely on. 4, 3, landing light through that right foot. 2, and the third set, I'm gonna go for a little flick kick. 6 to go. In 3, 2. Now I want to transition to the other leg. So let's just take a few jumps on both legs. Now the legs could be together, or they could be slightly parallel. Your top arm could even reach, or it could come behind your head, or you could slide the fingertips underneath the waist. So that's a really nice way for clients to get personal feedback. So if you kind of can cue, if you're squashing right down on your fingertips, you might need to lift and lengthen. So we've done about 8 to 10 reps here, and then we're transitioning to the left leg. Give the right leg a little break, but unfortunately, or fortunately, the right glute will continue to burn as it extends over the board. Now we won't do as many reps here. If you would like to add on, you might add a tuck, knee tuck, or a heel flick, or one of both. You can let clients play. I often give clients the option and say you've done both, so maybe you alternate, or you just pick your favorite. 4 more. It's about 12 reps here. And this right glute is still totally on fire. And just because we love our clients so much, to finish, we park the carriage almost all the way in, and then pulse. Whew. Wrap that hip forward, another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my Lord. I'm gonna roll onto my back because that just makes for a smooth transition. Wow. Right glute, absolutely on fire. Now the ball is already there, so you can always offer it as a bit of support for the head. Let's actually stay on the left side. Sorry to change it up on you. So I was thinking, because we want to keep burning, I want to keep burning through the right, I want to give the glute a little break. So we'll take the strap at the chest and just tuck the knees a little and tuck your feet under. Small loop will give you more tension, large loop less, and we'll pull the arm straight down by our hip pocket and then lift the arm up. Now when you lift the arm up, remember you don't want to lose tension on the spring, so the fingertips come directly back on top of the shoulders. You're still in that stacking of the hips, feeling that lifting through the underneath waist. And that lifting doesn't have to be physical, remember? It can be just a sensational feeling. Not all bodies will, all side waists will be able to lift up off the carriage, so you're looking for sensational cues. Can you feel the feeling of the waist lifting? Yeah? Not, you should have a blueberry-sized gap underneath your waist, because that just doesn't feel very inclusive, and not everyone will find that gap. So, yeah. Just keeping our cues really inclusive. This is quite heavy, yeah? So we're not here for many reps. I've already done 7, and I'm just doing 1 more, 8. Now turn the palm to face your back, and to work through the tricep now, we bend at the elbow joint and press long. And again, just another 8 reps here because of the spring load. You're on a medium and a light, if not one heavy, which will be even that little bit stronger. And it's enough here, because otherwise people start to really grip through their neck. 3 more. In 2. Remember to keep cueing breath. Last one. Turn your palm down, lift the arm halfway up, and then pulse here. Now this pulse really helps to access the back of the arm, and we're also working in the frontal coronal plane. So remember, we want to bring in all planes of movement. We've added twisting and rotation, which is great. It's very easy to move in the sagittal plane, so we don't want to forget the coronal plane. Last 2. And last one, all the way down. Strap goes over the block. Now we can come onto our back. And again, you can keep the ball underneath the head as a little bit of support. Now, this is the last set of jumps for that right glute, because the right glute's pretty burnt out. But because we're now jumping in the sagittal plane, the activation of muscles is slightly different. So you're not going to get that deep side burn. You'll get more quad and hopefully a little bit of hamstring. Now you might start to extend your left leg over the board, and you'll often find that clients are okay. They can keep their head down or even lift the headrest up. And then you might offer an option, just to be creative, to thread the ball underneath the left knee. And then you might even offer the option to stay in curl or to lift and lower out of the curl. Yeah, so your clients might move between lots of different variations depending how strong they're feeling on the day. And then after I've done this, I like to offer like a scissor variation, up and down. It's a little bit stronger on the hamstring. You might still take the ball under the thigh. And just for fun, if you want one final layer here, you can scissor the legs in the air, but you probably just keep your ball at your head here or your chest. Yeah, so really working through that right quad. Left leg's got to hold in space there. We'll do another 4, 3, 2. Now press the carriageway with the right leg, land on the left. So I'm giving the right leg a little break, side to side now. And you might hold a curl. You might just keep the head down and squeeze in on that ball. So remember, if you're using a prop, you might as well use it. If it can be utilized instead of being on the floor, we love to keep the prop. Now, because this is a fit class, if I had the music pumping up, I'd turn it up at this point. I'd get everyone to press the carriage all the way out, and I'd start to run those knees up. Right, and I've usually got, it's gonna get a little bit loud here, I've usually got a song playing, it's got a great beat, and then I count to the beat, knees up, 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 up. Maybe you squeeze the ball at your chest. If you want more, double time. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it because it's quite loud here on that board, but you could go really fast, or you could go little runners. You could alternate between little runner and knees up, 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 up. Yeah, and we'd be here for about 30 to 45 seconds. So we're finishing that off. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the carriage all the way in. Well done. How are you feeling? Because we've just brought the heart rate up, I love to work in more interval training with a fit class. We don't want to keep it high intensity the whole time. I don't. This is personal for me. So now, because we can't really do jump work for the arms in this position, we'll take the straps. It's a light spring, so the focus will be more so on the core than the shoulders. Finding some tension on those straps. Legs come to tabletop, spine is neutral. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, arms pull down. Now I've just taken that ball between my knees because I love the prop. Why not use it? The core is warm, the body is warm. People might be thinking, oh, this doesn't feel super heavy. Cue that it's not about the shoulders, it's about the core. So can we now find the abdominal curl? Feel the sternum bone lifting up and toward the ball, toward the thighs. Lower the head, lift the arms. Now when you do this, can you squeeze in on the ball as well? So let's get a little bit of adductor action happening here. Inner thigh squeeze, Inhale, head lowers, arms lift. Good, and let's go. You can do a few more reps here. And then you could start to layer up and add the option of extension. Now, because the ball is there, you might think, oh, well, I can't do single leg. You can. It just slides between the thigh and the hamstring. Come back through the center, single leg slide. And you want to keep the ball there. If you want more, double leg and slow control down. Arms down, legs out. If you want more again, leg extension, squeeze. Lower down. Now you could do so many different things here, right? If you've got someone who's struggling a little bit to hold tabletop, you come into this position. So you get them to stack their ankles and just keep their head down. This might be heavy enough through the shoulders for some of your clients. For pregnancy, with this kind of work, when you're focusing on the ab curl, I would say just go to your client and add a little bit more spring, probably the lightest extra spring, and get them to just do the arm work. Yeah, so their focus is arms. The rest of your class are focusing on abs, squeeze, extend, all of the above. Let's say this is the final round and you want a little challenge here. Now you might say, can everyone lift to curl, if that's accessible for you? You can either stay in your tabletop or extend your legs, and we're finishing here by squeezing in on the ball. Little pulse, pulse. You have 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try not to collapse. Come all the way in. Yeah? So I'm going to drop my ball down to the side for a moment because I'd like to focus on the obliques more. So if you've got someone who's not working their abdominals, you could get them to then now go triceps, or maybe adduction, again working back out into the coronal plane. For all the other clients, we're going to take an oblique focus today. Arms up, tabletop legs. Take a breath in. As you exhale, frame the right thigh, extend the left leg, and curl toward the corner of the right corner of the board. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, frame the left, extend the right, curl. Inhale, lower down. Now you could just do, say, 8 reps on the right. Yeah, and then, or maybe even 6, don't even have to do that many. And same on the left, or you can alternate, side to side. So what you're doing here, when you're asking them to frame the thigh, you'll often see people do lots of weird things. So as in, the thigh is the picture and the arms are the frame. So you're curling up, you're framing here, you're extending long, and then coming back in. Now, another supportive option would be to do a little leg press and reach. So you've got the support of the leg, lifting and lowering. So remember, you always want to be giving lots of modifications and lots of progressions. Let's say we've finished that off. We might frame one thigh, hold, and then reach. Pulse for 6, 5, really focus on the obliques, rib to hip. 3, 2, 1, come through the center, inhale, exhale to the other side, little pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way in. Straps over the blocks or the little strap holders there. Amazing. So what I would plan to do now, instead of getting up and doing everything from the start, I'll reverse the whole thing. What does that mean? We start here, focusing on more quad and hamstring with the left foot. Make sure you don't do the same foot twice. We start with the left foot and we start to jump away. Now, reversing it, if you've written it down and you've got something to follow, then you can see what's going on. If not, you've got to really have it in your brain as to what's going on and what comes next. Worst comes to worst, you just start again from the beginning. We could roll off, we could start with the scooter, the fly, all of the above. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But because we're only on a spine and we love to flow, I'm just starting in this position. So I'm going to take the ball underneath the right thigh. Now I'm not counting absolutely specifically. I might do 12 on one side and 13 on the other, or 24 and 25, something like that. You want to have a rough idea of how many reps you want to do. For this variation here, we're probably doing about 30 once we add on with that straight leg sweep, which I'm doing now. And again, remember, you can be in that curl. And then if you want to offer that option of the scissor, and it takes a moment to get used to, pointing those toes, finding energy through the legs. Your ball can, you might reach it up to the sky, give it a little squeeze. So squeezing the ball with the palms in actually helps to activate the TA, transverse abdominis. So you're feeling that bend. I'm just going to do 2 more here. And then again, what we did on the other side, out with the left, in with the right, out with the right, in with the left. And you might even extend the opposite leg. Some people get quite confused in a normal class, let alone a jump class, which everything's moving very fast and the cues are coming out quite fast. So I often just say, whatever you're doing is fine, you're not here for long. And then we might do, and again, this board is a little bit noisy, so I'm going to take this nice and slow. But if I was in class and the music was up loud, I'd probably be running it out, knees up, 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 something like that. People might even want to curl. 8, 7, 6, pretend I'm doing it so I'm not banging the bed. 3, 2, and 1. Let's roll straight onto the other side, which is the right side for me. I'm taking the ball underneath my head, so put that headrest down and shuffling down the carriage, little bit of space behind me, shuffle the pants, and start to extend through the top leg. So again, thinking about that sensational cue of lifting through the underneath waist, the top hand might come behind and underneath the waist just to feel that lift, and your right leg can just stay tucked. So again, as I said, this first round, because we're just getting used to that side lying jump, I'll do a few more reps with the first round because I'm going to add that little pulse. And you remember you want to cue that rolling forward of the hip because a lot of people will just start to hang out in their hips and it kind of looks like this, and you don't want it to look like that. You want to be really stacked. We'll do another 4 and then go into our 2 sets of 8. In 2. Now going into that knee tuck, pulling in and land, pulling in and land. You've got 6. In 5, I like to cue a dynamic knee tuck because some people kind of press out and they just do this. Yeah, so you want to really get it out, in, down. I'm working through the foot, gently through the foot. Last 2. And then I'm going for that heel to bum flick kick. So pull it back, heel to bum. Good, 2 more. And last one. Let's transition, both feet on the board. Yeah, so we give that top glute a little break. Now, your left glute, your top glute here, probably won't be burning as much as the other glute was. Why is that? Because we haven't done the scooter yet. So on this side, we actually finish with the scooter. Now we'll take a transition to the bottom leg. Your top glute will totally start to switch on here as you keep the leg extended. And we've got about 8 more reps, and if you'd like to add that alternating knee tuck, you might even reach the arm with you. You can layer with an arm, or you can keep the hand behind the head, open through the chest, the hand behind the waist. You've got another 4, and we'll finish with that little pulse in 2. Holding about halfway, roll that top hip forward, little pulse lift. The foot can be pointed or flexed. Ooh, burning now. Another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way in. Well done. Grab the strap. Don't forget about the arm work we did on the other side. So I'm taking the large loop because it is feeling quite heavy. Your legs just are tucked slightly. You pull that strap all the way down by your hip. A lot of clients will want to pull the strap behind their waist. So cue, it's in line with the waist, maybe slightly forward. And you've got 8 reps here. And remember, you can cue short loop, more tension, large loop, less. You might have some really strong clients in the room. Majority men who are quite strong in the upper body. someone might grab the strap and they might do it from there. That's really strong, yeah? And if you're seeing a client that's really struggling, just go up to their bed and say, I'm just gonna drop this light spring off. Yeah, no one needs to be attached to the spring that, that you've planned. Sometimes it's just too strong. So I would just go around and I would drop that lighter spring. Turn your palm to face behind you, bend your elbow, inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, bend, exhale, press. And then you might cue the waist again here. 4 to go. In 3, 2, and last one. Press the arm long, turn the palm down. We lift the arm halfway and we just pulse here. 8, 7, 6, 5, in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bring it all the way in. So, let's come all the way up. Now again, as I said before, we need to roll off to the other side because we haven't yet done our scooter sequence and series. So once you've come up to the other side, spring stays the same. Bring the ball with you, left foot behind the base of the bar, right foot against the block, hinging bum back, chest forward, and we start to press the carriage out and in with that right leg. If this is feeling good, ball to the chest, maybe whoop, elbows wide, and you can give the ball a little squeeze. Feeling the shoulders draw away from your ears, just watch that people aren't taking all that load up into their neck. And then maybe you add that rotation back in. Remember, when you rotate, the hip bones stay facing your front, and it's the thoracic spine that's rotating, and the cervical, the neck as well, but that rotation around the torso, you want to feel the ribs wrapping around. We'll do another 6, 5, 4, 3. Remember, you can keep that hand on the foot bar. And 3 sets of pulses. So the first set, back leg is straight, little lift lower. Lift lower. 6, so I'm doing 3 sets of 8. In 4, 3, 2, and this is where this left glute is really firing up. Second set, mini kickback, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, third set, bring it in, drop back, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay low, drop the ball to the floor. Now, I didn't give this option on the other side, so obviously if you were to give the option, you would do both sides, but I just want to show you where you could go from here. You could move into your fly lunges. So both hands to the board, big press back of that right leg. As you exhale, pull the carriage in, round through the spine, tuck the knee to the nose. Yeah, so this is a great movement for all classes, but particularly in your fit class, really nice again to build heat in the body and bring the heart rate up. So if you wanted to do that, you could bring it in on both sides. Don't just do it the second side because we want to be even. But you could do knee to nose, you could do knee to opposite elbow. You could do knee through like a little circle, or you could offer the fly sweep. Yeah, and then people's heart rates are up again after that. Once you finish that set, dropping the back knee, you can take some active stretching. So if you're following this plan and you want to put this in, remember to go back on the other side and add it in, because I didn't. But I think it's a great addition and just came to me in the moment. So I want to provide that for you. So after you've done that, we've done everything now. Everything is even. Stay on this spring. Again, a fit class can still be really flowy with the spring. We're still on that medium light spring, and I'm going to take some chest work. So bringing your hands to the board, feet against the block. You could start by pressing the carriage out, keeping the knees underneath the hips, bending the elbows, sliding the chest forward, and sliding the chest back. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press. Now, if this is feeling good, you might have a lot of clients who want to stay here, or you offer the option in the low plank. So the hips come forward, inhale, press forward, exhale, press away. And the shoulders are drawing away from your ears. That smooth in and out movement. We'll do about 8 to 10 reps here. Remembering that you want to try to wrap the thumbs over the board. The board can get a little bit, it can feel quite hard on the top of the hand, yeah? But try not to break the wrist at the board, as in that way. Now the next time I pull the carriage all the way in, let's just take easy push-up. Bed stays still, chest to the board, press. Chest to the board, press. Now you might stay in this option, low kneel. You might have the clients park the carriage and you just do this option. So that's a nice level 1. Again, knees underneath the hips. Or that more advanced option, you would come into your full plank and take chest to the bar and press. Yeah, so you could do knees under hips, low plank, or full plank, and you've got 2 more there. So you've done about 8 to 10 reps of each, and then maybe at the very end there, you hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, press all the way up, untuck the toes, take a quick child's pose. And this is where I would encourage some deeper breath, maybe 2 or 3 deep breaths, because we're going to jump again. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. Now, as you pull the carriage in, drop the yellow spring or the lightest spring off the bed. If you've been working on one heavy, you want to come down to one medium. Same work through the chest, but with an added jump. Hands come to the board. You can just start with a few presses. Now, just getting used to it because it's a lighter spring. Core stays engaged. And then, if you're feeling good, you start to press the hips forward, land smoothly. So you'll see a lot of people land quite heavy into the board. You want to cue that safe landing. This is another reason I jump light for legs and arms. It's personal preference, but I find really heavy jump load, it puts so much unnecessary tension on the joints, and you can work just as hard, if not harder, because you can stay for more reps on the light spring. So just be really wary when you're sequencing your classes. With a double leg jump, personally, I don't jump any more than a heavy medium together. Again, it's up to you, but I love a light spring jump. I think it's really, really nourishing on the joints while still picking up the heart rate. We've been here for a little while. I'm just chatting away, starting to add some rotation. We've done lots of beautiful transverse work today. So we've worked in the transverse plane simply by adding layers into all of our movements. I'm going to do another 4 with that twist. You might bring your arms to your chest, both of them. 2 more. Last one. Bring it all the way in, and maybe from here you can cue knees down, plank hold, or knees up, plank hold. Yeah, so once you've come into that plank, you're holding. And then if you've got all your clients up on their feet, because we're on a lighter spring, you could then even go into some knee tucks, maybe some pikes, and maybe adding a mountain climber knee. Why not? Knee tuck to plank, pike. This board is quite high relative to where my feet are, to plank, and mountain climbers. Let's do 3 more sets like that. Using your breath, inhale, exhale, 2 climbers, 2 more sets. If this is all feeling a bit strong, you might have a client just hold a plank or come back down to their knees. Last set, knee tuck, pike, and then let's just keep doing the mountain climbers. Yeah, and this again, I would cue, you've either got a 10-second hold or 10 more mountain climbers. Keep the carriage still as you can. Find that rotation in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the carriage all the way in. Gentle forward fold. Maybe you let your hands come over the top of the board, pull back a little. Take a breath. And then to finish class, I'm going to step either side of the carriage, come back down to my bum. Grab the ball, we're staying on the blue spring or the medium spring. A little bit of jump work to go, lucky us. But it's not about the legs, it is about the core. So as you come down, you're on that really light spring, and coming on down to your back again. Let's start with the right leg jumping, and we'll take the ball underneath the left knee. Engaging your core, finding an abdominal curl here. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, curl up. And you can really just keep your head supported in your hands. Now, so far you've been jumping a little bit heavier, so you might find that clients, I don't want to do it too much, but they really power back, yeah? And they're like, oh, I didn't realize there was so little spring. So you have to cue. This is a light spring jump. It's no longer about your legs. We're focusing on our core. So with that ball behind the knee, you're getting a little bit of hamstring work. But for coordination's sake, we'll start to take the left toes to the floor as we pull the right knee in. Now you can also, your client might lift their headrest back up. I'm trying to there it is. Yeah, and they can keep their head down because it's light and we're doing this leg switch. They're still getting core. Now, so much rotation. I love rotation. If you'd like more rotation, as you jump away, your left elbow comes to your right knee. Now that left hamstring has to work to hold the ball, otherwise the ball's on the floor. So you're rotating now, shoulder across to the thigh. And then if you want more final layer, you might kick the leg and extend the arm. Maybe you've got to land it back on the carriage. If it's too much with the left leg moving up and down, just cue that the leg can stay in tabletop. We'll go for another, say 6. So we're here for about 25 to 30 reps. 4, 3, 2. Last one, bring it in through the center, take the ball. Now I would cue here, just keep the head resting for a moment and go to some frog leg jumps. So it's actually quite hard to balance those legs in the air as you jump away and not tuck under through your tail. So you want to keep the tailbone grounded. And I would just take a few of these, say 6 to 8, to transition to the other side. You might even have clients who start to reach the ball to their knees. Good, we've done 8. And then we come in, we take the ball straight underneath the right thigh, don't give it too much thought or time, and jump away with the left. This is it to finish, so we don't want to let them rest. And then we can start to take that little switch in the air, maybe maintaining the abdominal curl. Again, you can just keep that right leg in tabletop if it feels a little much. Now maybe you take that rotation, find the twist. And then to finish, you might extend the arm and the leg. So probably definitely 20 reps. Yeah, maybe a few more depending how much time you have left. Sometimes if you've got a few extra minutes, you just do a few extra reps. Last 2. And just so we don't finish on one leg, offering that final jump again, you might offer the frog, or some clients love to go into their split jump. Yeah, so you can go frog into split, curling up nice and high, feeling the ribs wrap down toward the hips. For 4, reaching the ball through the thighs. 3, in 2, and last one, bring it all the way in and breathe. Well done. Your ball goes down to the floor. Hands can come to the shoulder blocks as you let your knees wipe side to side. Now again, if you're running out of time, you would have done less reps there, or skipped the middle and just gone from right to left. Just feeling that wiper of the knees should feel really good on the hips. And you might hold the knees over to one side. You can stack the top leg if that feels good. And just cueing a deep breath into those muscles. Through the center, over to the other side, maybe stacking the top foot. Feeling into that twist, lots of twisting in this class. It's really nice, it feels amazing on the spine when you get up and you leave the practice. It feels really good when you've been doing rotational work. And then you can keep that foot there if you like, and then reach through and grab your hamstring or your shin, and just soften into that figure 4 glute stretch. And then changing sides. And if you have more time, you could take your clients into a much longer stretch, something really nice and juicy. But if not, after that final stretch, just recommend letting the body fall into the bed for a moment and focusing on the breath for 3 deep breaths in and out. In 2. And 1 more. Let it go. And that is your Reformer Fit class plan. Thank you so much. So as I said, I am an advocate for light spring jumping. I think it's really supportive on the hips, the knees, the shins. Same if you're doing any upper body jump work. It's nice on the joints, and you can still really get the heart rate up and work really hard. You sequence the way I sequenced: scooter, fly lunge, side lying glutes, same glute on your spine. So you keep burning that glute. If I was on a really heavy spring, I just wouldn't have the guts to do it. I would have been burnt out. So you can kind of create around the weight of your spring. And yeah, if you're going to use a prop, make sure you use that prop. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys very soon.